Where I'm standing right now is a pawpaw garden, or some people call it papaya. And this is not just any other ordinary pawpaw garden that you always see around. In the community of northern Uganda, almost every village, if you go to, there is a pawpaw in people's home. But this one we're talking about 2 acres of pawpaw, and it's quite amazing. I'm here with Arthur, who is the owner of Lad Mix Farm in Nuoya district. And of course, today we want to dive into pawpaw farming and why he's doing pawpaw farming right here. It's something unique. Not many people are doing it if you move around in northern Uganda. So, Mr. Arthur, how are you today?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Glad to meet you again.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Yeah, so you are doing pawpaw.
Yes.
Why pawpaw here?
Well, pawpaw, first of all, I like the fruit. It's a very beautiful fruit. It's a very nice fruit. It's a very tasty fruit.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, when you go to Gulu town and you want to buy a pawpaw is very expensive.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I'm wondering, why should a pawpaw be very, very expensive? That means somewhere, somehow, there is scarcity of this fruit.
Yeah.
Whatever is there in people's homes, those are eating. But there are people who are in flats, there are people who are in the city center, in hotels, that don't have this kind of pawpaw. There I said, no, I love the fruit, but I'm equally aware that there are so many people like it.
Yeah.
Let me plant and be able to provide that market.
Sure.
But also, hopefully, the price will also become, be a little bit low compared to what it is.
Yes.
Because I realize if you're telling me I can buy a pawpaw at 4,000, 3,000 in Gulu, why can't I produce it even if I'm going to give it out at 1,500 or 2,000 shillings?
Yes.
Or less than that, depending on the volumes one can have.
Yeah.
And people can be able to enjoy the fruit. Why not?
Personally, I cannot remember the last time I ate pawpaw. You're actually very right. Whenever I walk around, maybe passing through, I see them. One, they may not be, as good as I want, and two, the price is somehow expensive, so someone would not really want to buy. Also, it's very hard to get it around.
Okay.
And I think this is a very good initiative to put them here so that you can, start selling them. Yeah, this is really, really amazing. And there are people, I don't know, you're actually the first one that I've seen. Not many people are actually doing this. So how long does pawpaw take to be ready?
Well, these ones I planted in June. But we are hoping that in December we should be able to start picking our first fruit.
Oh, okay.
As you can notice, as you'll be moving around, you scan around and taking some shots, you'll see that we already have some of these pawpaws. So if in September we have October, November, by December we should be able to have fruit. And then most likely throughout the dry season.
So it's less than a year.
Less than a year, because when I was procuring these, they told me in 6 months I should be able to see flowers emerge, and I'm already seeing it. And it's quite amazing to see some of these fruits which are still very, at a low level of height, but already giving us this kind of fruit. Yes.
I'm seeing this type is a little different. Normally, when you move around the community of northern Uganda, some are told that you have to use the stick to get it, or you have to climb. But these are just really short. You can even a young child can harvest it.
Exactly.
Which type is this?
Mainly it's going to be red crayon, but I'm sure because when I was getting from a particular person who was giving me the seedlings, he told me it's red crayon, but there are other types that are mixed into. But I'll also discover that when I see the final product.
Exactly.
But from the photos he was displaying, it was showing a very big pawpaw, red, very attractive, and with a lot of flesh.
Okay, wow.
So I decided that this is what I would want to try out.
And Arthur is having a YouTube channel which is called Lad Mix Farm. You can get to learn a lot about pawpaw farming, pineapple, goats farming, and quite a lot. So you can subscribe to that channel to learn more. This is actually amazing, and I'll be glad to come back here in December.
Exactly.
To actually
and also look at the volumes and how we are performing.
Exactly.
And we shall be also learning, getting some lessons out of it.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Wow, it's actually amazing. I'm quite impressed. If you're to advise someone, do you think pawpaw farming or something that you're doing is something that the people of northern Uganda should also embrace?
Um, well, we are yet to try out the market. As I told you, the demand is not that much.
Exactly.
I've not seen people adding value to pawpaws per se in Uganda.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I've seen where when I was a student somewhere, our teachers trained us how to do jam out of pawpaw. So you can actually make and this that you can put on bread and so forth.
Yeah.
But even when you go to supermarkets, it is there. Marmalade, it's called marmalade, but marmalade out of pawpaw and some other ingredient. But in terms for this, we are basically looking at consumption. People want to eat fresh, good fruit. And as you can see, we are trying to go organic. We don't want to use any, fertilizers and so forth.
Oh, yeah, true.
The only challenge I might face if there is any particular pest that will force me to kind of maybe get a spray to ward off some of these insects. Yeah. But for us, we are trying as much as possible to go organic.
Which we don't see any event yet right now.
Yes, we are so far so good.
Okay. Wow, that's really amazing. Pawpaw being done in northern Uganda in large now. This is like 2 acres, which is really quite amazing.
Yes.
As we try to end, because this is not really a very long video, let's try to talk about the agriculture as the potential of Uganda right now, the economic potential of agriculture right now.
Yes.
There's a lot of young people who are moving around every day. People are looking for jobs, and unfortunately, they cannot get it.
Yes.
And some people who have it, maybe the money, the payment is not really that high as they want. It cannot sustain them. There's a lot of things. What is your thought about agriculture being the solution to poverty in Uganda or in northern Uganda, and the solution to poverty to the young people of Uganda? Do you think it is, it's the solution?
Thank you so much. That's a very good question. And for me personally, I feel it's a solution to ending poverty, to ending unemployment.
Yeah.
I was once unemployed for 3 years when I just graduated as well.
Oh, okay.
So I know the pain that comes with that. You see? But it takes a young mindset or somebody to make up their mind and say, let me go into farming. You only need to have where to establish yourself, the garden.
Yeah.
You can either do backyard gardening if you're in a town and you don't have a lot of land, or you can lease or hire land, or if you have some land that your parents have or that you have, even 1 acre you can be able to do amazingly.
Yeah, sure.
Just take this example. When I looked out that the pawpaws are quite expensive in Gulu, I said, but I can grow this crop. Why is it expensive? So you just need to see where the opportunities are, where you see there is a gap, and try to fill it.
Sure.
In this is a simple example.
Yeah.
I found out that pawpaws are expensive. I decided, let me plant pawpaws.
Exactly.
Let me fill that gap. Let me provide that to the market and get that income.
Yeah.
And see how it can help me move on. You find I'm doing other enterprises, but let pawpaw be one of them. And it's a crop that you're going to harvest for, I think, over 3 years. You know, and I'm told you can get, I think in a year you can get like 50 fruits. I don't know whether it's per season or per year on a single tree.
Yeah.
So I find it quite an interesting fruit, and it's a journey that I'm going to document properly and see how it progresses. And I'll also be getting you some of these clips to be able to, learn from this.
Yeah.
But definitely there are a lot of opportunities in agriculture. In value addition, you can say that I may not go into farming for digging and sake and so forth, but let me buy from some of these farmers and do value addition. Or let me do the trade bit of get from farmers, go and trade, get, some income around that.
Yeah.
But under the agriculture sector, there's a lot you can do as a youth out there. Or even when you're in active employment and you'd want to come in and embrace this kind of approach, the sky is actually the limit.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I'm a young person and I've actually learned a lot about farming in this year.
Okay.
And farming is a big deal. Like, it's a real deal. Lastly, for today, what are some of the misconceptions that you think people have about farming? And if they are to change, what is that they should change?
Okay. One thing that I'm really seeing, I think, has come from way back. People look at farmers as people who have no future, who don't have money, who are always broke, dirty and shabby. Well, I'm not that shabby though, but when you're in the farm, you're in the farm, you have to work. But when you're not in the farm, it's time for what? You dress up, you go and socialize and, and become like the others. So it's all about changing this mindset and knowing that in farming, actually, you can make it. You can, first of all, one thing I would like to make very clear to the people out there, they may disagree, but you are not going to get rich or successful by getting employed. You need to think outside the box. You need to try and run your life independently. Go into something where you're employing yourself, where you're your own master. There you determine the pace at which you want to go, the max, the breadth and the magnitude by which you want to invest. For instance, these are 2 acres of pawpaw. Somebody might come in and say, maybe I want to do pawpaws, but I want to do 10 acres. You see? And you identify where you're going to take it. By the way, this thing, you find some people will go to know that I have it, and they're saying they would be interested to buy some. These companies that are doing export. So you can imagine also somebody interested me that when time comes, they would want to get some pawpaws for export. But for the export, they want to go for a certain size. Not all the big ones and small. There is a certain size. And yet for me, I know that a Ugandan person, when he's buying, he wants value for money. He wants a big one, provided it is sweet. Okay? So for me, I've planted this. I'm here to see how it's going to perform and see how to do it better as we move along.
I feel that is really interesting and amazing, and thank you for your time. What you're doing here is actually really, really interesting and amazing. And of course, I think we can end this here today. I'm Charles Layoo, and this is the Ugandan farmer bringing you stories of Ugandan who are doing great thing in farming and agriculture. Subscribe to Lad Mix Farm YouTube channel to get more videos actually about farming, because they are doing a lot. They are bringing you videos about pineapple, we have pawpaw here, chili, goats farming, and other farming videos. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our very next video.
Thank you.